So now Time Magazine has come to the defense of Amber Heard. Is anybody surprised by that? You have to see. Okay, thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for clicking the little bell. Welcome to another episode of What's Going On? What's Going On? Yeah. Now, Time Magazine, another mainstream media outlet coming out for Amber Heard, but fine. What is not surprising about that? Nothing. They're all toxic feminists in the mainstream media. Every single one of these people. I'm serious, dude. I don't know of any of the mainstream media people, any of them, that have gone with Johnny Depp. Because if in some way, shape, or form, they've either negatively framed Johnny Depp and his stories, or they've positively framed Amber Heard's stories. So I haven't found one single mainstream media outlet that isn't for Amber Heard. And I think that's so easy to understand why. From Time Magazine, what legal experts think of Amber Heard's chances on appeal. A jury may have come back with a victory for Johnny Depp in his defamation suit against ex-wife Amber Heard, but the legal drama is far from over. Heard's lawyers have said that she will appeal the decision, a process that will likely take years. Really? Years, huh? Well, we're going to be here every single step of the way. I'm letting them know that right now. Time Magazine, we're going to be here until the nail is in the coffin and the grave is sealed. Metaphorically, we got to add that in there because you know how these people are. Time spoke to experts about what happens next in the case, Heard's chances of winning an appeal, and how far this legal fight could go. First, a bit of background on the case itself. We already know about all that, but okay, fine. Depp had sued Heard over a Washington Post op-ed published in 2018 in which Heard called herself a public figure representing domestic abuse. Well, first of all, let me stop you right there because we didn't even know who she was. None of us knew who she was. I would say 95% of people that are currently my subscribers and currently in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial group, none of us knew who she was. So when you say public figure, that doesn't really mean anything because nobody knew who the fuck Amber Heard was before the trial, much less in 2018 with this fucking op-ed. A public figure representing domestic abuse, Heard never named Depp as her abuser. Still, Depp claimed that the opinion piece hurt his career. Oh my God, do you see what these people are saying? Depp claimed. He claimed. Dude, you people are so full of shit, man. And this is the thing. They didn't watch the trial. Of course they didn't watch the trial. None of these people watched the trial. Not one single person in the mainstream media actually watched the damn thing. They're all taking each other's word for it, and since they're all toxic feminists, this is what you get. Heard never named Depp as her abuser. Still, Depp claimed that the opinion piece hurt his career. Bro, you people are pieces of shit. Heard then countersued, claiming that Depp's attorney, Adam Waldman, as an agent of Depp, defamed her by calling her allegations a hoax in the Daily Mail. Many legal experts doubted that Depp would win the case, and well, now we know why they're not experts. The actor had lost a similar libel suit in the UK against the tabloid The Sun in 2020. In that case, a British judge wrote that he found The Sun's statement that Depp was a wife-beater to be substantially true, and that Depp had assaulted Heard on at least 12 occasions, but the outcome of that case was decided by a judge, not a jury. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do? There was a judge in this trial too. What are you talking about? What does that have to do with anything? Well, it was decided by a fucking corrupt judge, not a jury. I hate these people. Nor was the trial televised as the U.S. one was. And you're seeing from every single mainstream outlet that's in our society, they didn't like the fact that we all saw the trial. You have to understand that none of these toxic feminists like to be in the spotlight because they know the spotlight equals truth. They know. In the U.S. case, the jury handed down awards to both Depp and Heard. They found that Heard defamed Depp with malicious intent and awarded Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages. Judge Penny Ascarate then reduced the punitive damages to Virginia's statutory cap of $350K, but the jury also awarded Heard $2 million in compensatory damages on her countersuit. The verdict has left many confused, since awarding damages to Depp would suggest that they believe the Pirates of the Caribbean star when he said Heard lied about the abuse she alleged. Well, she did. What do you mean? The verdict has left many confused? No, it's only left you confused, mainstream media. Because let me tell you something, mainstream media. All you pieces of shit can't understand that a woman lost. Because in your mind, oh, men bad, women good. Men bad, women good. That's the only thing these mainstream pieces of shit toxic feminists know anything about. Men bad, women good. But awarding money to Heard contradictorily suggests they believed her claims of abuse were not in fact a hoax. What? That's not even true. What? But awarding money to Heard contradictorily suggests they believed her claims were not a hoax. That's not even true. Her claim, the reason she was awarded money was because of Adam Waldman. That was the whole point. What are you talking about? Are you lying right now? Time Magazine. Are you lying right now? You know we can all read this, right? Or you don't know that because you keep this shit behind a paywall. Is that what it is? You lie because you know people won't actually read this shit? Legal experts are divided on what Heard's team will or should do if they plan to appeal the case. The jury seemed to find Depp's story more credible than her. What? Wow, dude. Wow. The jury seemed to... Dude, everybody that watched that fucking trial, obviously you didn't, Time Magazine. Everybody that watched that trial found his story credible and her on the witness stand not credible. What are you people saying in this bullshit? And experts agreed that appellate courts tend to be reluctant to reassess credibility judgments made by juries, even if this jury's conclusions seem contradictory. Anyone appealing has an uphill battle. Good, says Rebecca Sullivan, a Washington, D.C. attorney who focuses on family law. Most likely the lawyers who spoke to Time said Heard's team will argue some legal error was made during trial, which it wasn't. There wasn't any error. And will try to overturn the verdict on the basis that the jury was influenced by things they saw and heard outside the courtroom. Have you noticed that they're trying to blame everybody except the actual evidence? They haven't once said, oh, well, the audios weren't real. You know, they were manipulated audios. Amber Heard never told him what she said. They never said, well, Johnny Depp lied. You know, nothing that he said was true. Have you noticed they haven't gone that route because they can't? Because it's so obvious that this woman is the abuser, they have to blame everything else they possibly can. They can't actually talk about the fact that all of those audios were heard by all of us. 300 plus million people saw this trial, except for the mainstream media, apparently. Whatever Heard's team decides, an appeals court won't hand down a ruling anytime soon. It's a long, expensive process, says David Ring, a Los Angeles civil trial lawyer. He and other experts... What? That's your expert? A civil trial lawyer? That's an expert? Why don't you just say that he's a civil trial lawyer only? Oh, because then you want to run your fucking narrative. The dude is a lawyer. He's not an expert. What? Oh my God, I know what the fuck these people are doing. I know what you're doing, and these are political tactics that you're fucking doing here. And I hate it when these people do this. This is why I fucking hate these people. Oh, he and other experts, yeah, fuck right, estimated the appeal would take 2 years minimum. Several attorneys who spoke with Time speculate. So is that what happened now? You spoke to attorneys, and just because because you know that there's attorneys, right? Andrea Burkhart, and I don't know, I think the real Laura B., I believe she's an attorney as well. You know there's attorneys that are for Johnny Depp, right? So you can't say that you spoke to experts, but in reality, they're just a civil trial lawyer. You know that, right? Mainstream media, are you really that full of shit that we're literally finding out your experts are just normal attorneys? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you fucking joking with me right now? Is this what is happening right now? I can't even believe this. I genuinely can't believe it. Several attorneys who spoke with Time speculated it will cost Heard hundreds of thousands of dollars in addition to the likely millions she's already spent in legal fees, which she's not paying. But when you're facing a $15 million judgment, says Ring, you certainly have to probably pursue that. Before the appeals process even begins, experts say it's likely that Heard or her insurance company will have to put up some sort of bond that shows she has or can raise the money that she owes Depp. Given that Heard and her lawyers have said this trial has been a financial burden for the actor, Heard's ability to post the bond is not guaranteed. Still, if she does proceed, her team may have a better chance in front of an appeals court than the jury of 5 men and 2 women who awarded Depp damages. The trial was televised live. Aw, are you going to start complaining now that it was live and we all saw it and we all saw that she was a piece of shit abuser? Aw, are you going to start complaining now? Aw. The trial was televised live. Jurors were not sequestered. Oh, they weren't sequestered. And videos and memes of Depp and Heard on the witness stand, including overwhelmingly pro-Depp commentary. Dude, she's the... Were inescapable on social media platforms like TikTok. I would expect the appellate portion of the case, where the audience is judges, to focus more on legal arguments and a lot less on the theatrics that we saw. What theatrics? Are you talking about her bad acting? What theatrics? What are you talking about? You realize the only theatrics in that entire trial was Amber Heard's faces during her testimony. You know that, right? You know that, right? Like, that clicks to you, right? When you say that theatrics, what are you talking about? Because I know you're not talking about the actual trial itself. You're talking about her faces that she made trying to lie on the witness stand. What the fuck are you talking about, Time Magazine? To focus more on legal arguments and a lot less on the theatrics that we saw in the trial, where the audience was a jury. Oh my God. Oh, says Sullivan. Ring agreed. It was a spectacle, he said of the original trial. On appeal, there would be no cameras and no opportunity for Heard's testimony to be picked apart. Oh my God. Oh my God. He really said that. They really just said that. They really just said that. They really just said that on an appeal, it's not going to be public, so her testimony won't be picked apart. They're literally crying that it was public. Oh my God. For Heard's testimony to be picked apart, edited, and misconstrued? What? What the fuck are you talking about? 3 appellate judges in Virginia Court of Appeals would decide the case largely by sifting through documents written by attorneys for either side. Depending on the outcome, the case could then be appealed to the Virginia Supreme Court. Oh, oh my God. So there's more to this? So that means that after she loses in the appellate court, you know she's going to take it to the Supreme Court. Oh my God, we're going to be here for like 4 years. Oh my God. Holy shit. We're going to be here for a long time. This is going to go on till like 2025, isn't it? Oh my God. Depending on the outcome, the case could then be appealed to the Virginia Supreme Court, which has the discretion to take the case or refuse to hear it, and ultimately to the U.S. Supreme Court. Never mind, 10 years, dude. We're going to be here. Oh my God. Oh, this is okay. I'm down, bro. You want to go for 10 years with me? You want to take me to town for 10 years? Let's go to town. I am down, bro. Charlie Brown going to Chinatown. I'll tell you that right now. Which has the discretion to take the case or refuse to hear it, and ultimately to the U.S. Supreme Court, which has the same discretion. According to experts that are actually just attorneys, not even actual experts, there are a number of arguments Heard's team could make. Her attorney, Elaine Bredhoff, made comments after the trial that would seem to suggest she will focus on evidence. What? She's not even a part of the case anymore. Wait, when is this from? Is this new? Oh, well, I didn't get the damn thing. This has to be older then, because Elaine's not even on her team anymore. This has to be old. Okay, she has suggested that some pieces of evidence Depp was able to introduce were prejudicial. That's not even her call. That's the judge's call. My God. Prejudicial, while certain evidence from Heard's team was suppressed. It wasn't... That's all at the discretion of the judge. Whatever the judge decided. Why are they talking as if it just happened? Oh, well, it was suppressed. We don't know why. Oh, we have no idea why. Dude, there's a judge. That's how the American legal system works. What the fuck are you talking about? Suppressed at trial, including evidence that was permitted in the UK trial. Oh, where you guys won? Well, actually, not even where you guys won, where the Sun won. Because remember, in the UK, it wasn't Johnny Depp against Amber Heard. It was Johnny Depp against the Sun. So these assholes always want to talk about the UK trial, where there was no trial between what's going on right now. Let's get that very clear. The UK trial, but not the US one. This trial judge let in a lot of evidence in this case. I mean, a lot, says Ring. I think things went kind of far afield from what the real issues were. Oh my God. I'm not even going to say anything. So that the basis for an appeal, though it not necessarily a great basis for appeal. He adds that evidentiary rulings are rarely the basis used by an appellate court to overturn a jury verdict. Mary Ann Franks, a professor, another expert, a professor, another expert. Is that what? So now you got professors here that are supposed to be experts. A professor at the University of Miami School of Law who focuses on civil rights says that Heard's team might challenge the judge's decision to allow the trial to be live streamed. Oh my, they're not, see, again, what does that have to do with Amber Heard actually not being an abuser? Nothing. They're not talking about the fact that she did all this shit. They're not. They're just mad that we all found out. It's just like when a woman cheats on you or a man cheats on you, right? And when you call them out on it, the first thing they say is, well, who told you? How do you know that? Not, oh, I didn't do anything. I didn't do that. Oh my God. They're not actually mad. Okay, they're not actually mad that she lost. They're mad that it was public. Oh my God. To allow the trial to be live streamed, a particularly unusual decision given that the case involved allegations of sexual abuse and domestic violence, as well as the judge's decision not to sequester. Okay, well, thank you. At least you can admit that it was the judge's decision. Don't blame the people. Don't blame the ethos or try and blame life. It was the judge's decision. Thank you for including that, douchebag. As the judge's decision not to sequester the jury, which resulted in a trial by social media. Oh my God. And you can't even prove that. If they could prove that the jury actually saw stuff online, then they would have a slam dunk case. But no, you'd never be able to prove something like that. That is so stupid. And that's why they use it as a defense, because you can't actually prove that. You just keep repeating the lie until it becomes true. Repeat the lie. Oh, the jury, the jury, the jury. That's what they're going to do. So now that we know we're going to be here for years and years and years, you need to get used to that, because that's all they're going to do. They're not mad that Amber Heard is actually the abuser. They're not mad that all those audios were real. They're not mad that Johnny Depp's stories and everything that he said was true. They're not mad about any of that. They're mad that we saw it. That's what they're mad about. Ascarate did remind the jury over and over again not to watch the news about the trial at night, but even logging onto Instagram or Twitter or TikTok oh, so you're just doing conspiracy theories now. Might have led jurors to memes about the case, including unfounded allegations that Heard faked bruises and persuaded witnesses to lie. Unfounded. Yeah, fucking right. I actually think that's a pretty good argument, says Sullivan. What was so extraordinary about this trial is that social media and news coverage of it, kind of a circus of public opinion. With this case, you have your jury going home. Their families have certainly been following this. They see the TikToks and the tweets. Okay, they see the TikToks and the tweets. They also saw Amber Heard on the witness stand. What are you saying when you say that? That these people saw social media. What are you saying? They were sitting right in front of her. She literally would turn and talk to them, and they were like right here. What are you saying when you say that? You realize that these people were literally sitting right in front of Amber Heard as she was speaking, right? You know that, right? Or you're that much of a dumbass that you're trying to say that these people heard Amber Heard speak and they didn't like put it together what she was saying, but then they went home and they went on TikTok and that's when they put it together? Are you fucking kidding me with this? What the fuck are you talking about, you fucking morons? Oh. So stupid. And the unsequestered jury is being exposed to things that were not admissible in the trial. So to the extent that Heard's lawyers can argue they were influenced by outside factors that weren't admitted in trial, that actually has a pretty high likelihood of success, in my opinion. Yeah, well, your opinion doesn't mean shit. But Ring believes that argument would be a loser on appeal because he says the idea of sequestering juries has fallen out of favor in modern courtrooms. It's just not realistic to sequester juries for 6 weeks. Holy shit, that's what they wanted? So in other words, you wanted these people to go stay in a hotel room for 6 weeks by themselves, not doing anything. What a dick. It's just not realistic to sequester juries for 6 weeks without their phones anymore. He says Heard's team can, however, interview the jurors from the trial about why they ruled the way they did. If they interviewed them and the jurors say we followed TMZ every night. Oh, really? TMZ? TMZ was literally on Amber Heard's side. Well, you just fucked yourself right there. If you're saying they followed TMZ every night, then that means they were getting pro Amber Heard information. What the fuck are you talking about, you fucking idiot? Okay, now you've got a basis for appeal, but I don't think anyone's going to admit to that if it happened. Many legal commentators have questioned whether Heard's 2018 op-ed actually rises to the level of defamation, considering the specific words in the piece. Given that the op-ed never mentions Depp's name, and is largely devoted to the broader topic of challenges facing women who speak out against abuse, it's strange credulity to argue that the op-ed harmed Depp in any meaningful. Oh my God. Says Franks, and especially in any way related to his career, which was already struggling due to well-documented behavioral issues. In fact, Franks points out, Heard did not write the headline for the piece, one of the statements at issue. She merely retweeted it. See, in those kind of fucking things, when people, well, then again, people aren't going to read this because they put it behind a paywall, but those kind of things, when the normal person reads that didn't watch the trial, they're going to believe what these morons have to say. That's why I don't like this shit, and it gets me so fucking angry. Sullivan also thought Heard's team could focus on the headline when they appeal. Defamation, or the act of damaging someone's good reputation with a false statement, is essentially an exception to the First Amendment's right of freedom of speech. But if people who merely retweet, oh my God, they're really going to go with that. This is so fucking stupid. But if people who merely retweet news stories can be held responsible for So now you're trying to say that's all she did. She didn't do anything except retweet something. Shut the fuck up, you fucking dick. Oh my God. But if people who merely retweet news stories can be held responsible for defamation if the article is inaccurate, that might present major First Amendment problems for millions of Twitter users. You mean Twitter users that are in their own trial defamate you? Is that what you're saying? Now all these people have to worry about it in their own defamation trial? Okay. The fuck up. Sullivan said that it's possible Heard's lawyers could leave open the option to take the case to the Supreme Court by focusing on the First Amendment issue. They will be sure to include a First Amendment claim if they want to take this all the way, she says. Though legal experts were divided on whether Heard stands a chance against Depp if she appeals her case, they agree it may be worth the risk for Heard. In no way, shape, or form, says Ring, is this a slam dunk winner for Johnny Depp or appeal. Well, that means it is. Because whenever these people talk, they talk in reverse. So whenever they speak like that, well, this is not a slam dunk. No, it's not. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Okay, that's going to be about it for today. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for staying with me this long. We will catch you next time.